This is Korea News for April 22, 2022. The government announced that from April 25, the infectious disease class of COVID-19 will be changed from grade 1 to grade 2, and all restrictions related to corona will be abolished except for wearing indoor masks. With this, Korea was completely freed from COVID-19. The number of new coronavirus cases has fallen below 100,000 for the first time in 2 months. Even after social distancing is lifted, the trend of Omicron's trend continues to decline. The quarantine authorities said that if the duty to wear an outdoor mask is lifted, there will be no sanctions even if the mask is removed within an emitter interval. As the epidemic continues to decrease, the number of severe cases and deaths is also gradually decreasing. On this day, the number of seriously ill patients stood at 846, staying in the 800 range for 5 days in a row. The number of home-treated patients was 570,083, which fell to 500,000 in 57 days after February 23, 521,294. As the epidemic does not respread and the medical system remains viable, the quarantine authorities are struggling to see if the duty to wear an outdoor mask will be eliminated. The head of the daily quarantine management team at the Quarantine Countermeasures headquarters said on the same day, "We will make a decision comprehensively considering the epidemic situation, the amount of movement, and the appearance of new mutations. Even now, if the emitter distance is observed outdoors, there is no penalty for not wearing a mask." However, in relation to this, the Presidential Transition Committee said the day before that it was a hasty decision to remove the mask. The People's Power Central Ethics Committee decided on the 21st to initiate disciplinary procedures against party leader Lee Jun-suk, who was accused of sexual harassment. This is the first time that the Power of the People and its predecessor, a political party, have submitted a case for disciplinary action against the party leader to the Ethics Committee. According to the political circles on the 22nd, the People's Strength Ethics Committee held a plenary meeting the day before and decided to initiate disciplinary procedures against party leader Lee Jun-suk while allegations of sexual harassment were raised from the conservative YouTube channel Garosuro Research Institute and civic groups. It is known that the Ethics Committee members attending the meeting unanimously decided to start the disciplinary process. The final decision on whether or not to take disciplinary action against party leader Lee Jun-suk, Power of the People, will be finalized through additional deliberation in the future, including notification and clarification procedures. Therefore, it is not yet possible to predict whether the disciplinary action against Lee Jun-suk, the party leader, will actually take place, or how severe the disciplinary action will be. The level of disciplinary action consists of 4 steps: expulsion, recommendation to leave the party, suspension of party membership, and warning. It is unprecedented for the People's Power and the political parties that were its predecessors that the agenda for disciplinary action against incumbent party leaders was formally referred to the People's Power Ethics Committee. Not expected to be small. Earlier in December of last year, the Garosuro Research Institute raised suspicions that party leader Lee Jun-suk had been paid sexual favors from a company president in the past. At the time, party leader Lee Jun-suk countered that it was a one-sided statement of a fraud suspect, and argued against legal action. However, on the 19th, the civic group Free Korea Patriots Corps held a press conference in front of the People's Power in Yongdongpogu, Seoul and filed a complaint with the Ethics Committee against Lee Jun-suk, claiming that the party's reputation was damaged by allegations of sexual favors. President-elect Yoon Suk-yeol's appearance on TVN's entertainment program U Quiz on the Block is flowing in the form of a game of truth between CJ and Blue House Protocol Secretary Tak Hyun-min over whether President Moon Jae-in requested an appearance last year. The day after Yoon-elect Yoon's appearance aired on the 20th, media reports appeared that the production team rejected President Moon's request to appear last year. Tak Hyun-min, Secretary of the Blue House's protocol, said on his Facebook page that CJ completely denied the report on the 21st, saying, "There is a record of talking to the program manager at the time, and it remains as a text message. CJ appeared. I lied to the media that I was never asked for a job," he said. Earlier, Media Today, citing a statement from a Blue House official, reported that in April last year, they contacted the production team of U-Quiz and asked whether or not President Moon would appear, but the production team rejected the appearance of a politician because it did not fit the program concept. Media Today also included in the article CJENM's clarification that President Moon never asked to appear on U-Quiz. Tak Hyun-min, Secretary of the Protocol, said, "First of all, in April of last year and before that, the Blue House inquired about the appearance of the program by the President, the Blue House barbers, shoe repairers, and landscaping managers. We have expressed our intention of refusing to do so with the gist of it doesn't fit, and we respected the will of the production team and did not make any further requests." He continued, "I still want to believe that Yoon-elect's appearance was solely the decision of the production team," said. In response, CJ is said to be reviewing measures, including legal action, in the position of obvious misinformation. Yoo Jae-suk, who was known as an anti-entertainer by thoroughly managing everything from his appearance on TV to his private life, is receiving the most number of comments from his debut. Yoo Jae-suk began to be stoned on the 13th after the news that the elected Yoon would appear on TVN's U-Quiz on the Block was announced. Some viewers strongly protested that the appearance of President-elect Yoon Suk-yeol did not match the purpose of the program. In U-Quiz, ordinary people who are active in various fields from all walks of life appear and tell their living stories. Just because he is a politician, there is no reason why he can't appear. However, it seems to have caused a misunderstanding in that Yoon-elect's entertainment appearance is ahead of the national local election in June and that he is the elected candidate rather than the presidential candidate. It was the production team that recruited President-elect Yoon Suk-yeol, but the spark of criticism came from Yoo Jae-suk. Netizens who oppose the appearance expressed their disappointment to Yoo Jae-suk, who is the MC of the program. Their argument is that as an MC, you should have protested to the production team about the appearance of President-elect Yoon Suk-yeol. After the broadcast, criticism towards Yoo Jae-suk was divided among supporters of both sides. Progressive supporters said they would not consume content related to Yoo Jae-suk, and some conservative communities demanded an apology, saying that MC Yoo Jae-suk was rude to President-elect Yoon Suk-yeol. It looks like Yoo Jae-suk is caught in a political whale fight and bursting with shrimp. It was revealed that the Democratic Party of Korea is devoting all its energy to handling a bill that completely deprives the prosecution's investigative powers called Gumsuwon-bak by putting on an unprecedented disguised party evasion show. Independent lawmaker Yang Hyun-jae revealed in an interview with the media on the 20th, if the Democratic Party doesn't handle the inspection, they said that Moon Jae-in and 20 people in the Blue House could go to jail, and told me to approve the bill. The Democratic Party has been arguing that the background of the so-called overhaul bill, such as the amendments to the Prosecutor's Office Act and the Criminal Procedure Act, was the purpose of reforming the Public Prosecutor's Office, which is highly politically biased. However, with the revelations of Rep. Yang, the real intentions of the Democratic Party were revealed. The reason for all kinds of tricks and irrationality was that they were in the end a tactic to avoid judicial processing by covering up their corruption and corruption in their power. It can't be a shock. Rep. Yang also confessed, although I was promised to join the Democratic Party, I have decided to oppose the censorship law according to my conscience, even if it is not for politics. In fact, if you look at Appendix 2 of the amendment to the Criminal Procedure Act, even the cases currently under investigation by the prosecution should be turned over to the police. In this case, it is highly probable that the prosecution's investigations related to the current administration, such as the Daejangdong incident, the Wolsong nuclear power plant, the blacklist of the Ministry of Industry, interference in the Ulsan mayor election, and corruption of Lee Sang-jik, will all be futile. It is also in line with this intention that the Democratic Party is working hard to bring the bill to the National Assembly plenary session, starting with the Agenda Coordination Committee of the Legislative and Judiciary Committee of the National Assembly. However, it is only a legislative riot that undermines the rule of law for the huge Democratic Party, which has 170 lawmakers, to push the Self-Bulletproof Act that blocks the prosecution's investigation into the regime's illegality and corruption. Democratic Party lawmaker Lee Sang-min, who used to be the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, called it a shortcut to family disgrace, and Jo Young-hoon, the president of the Transitional Party, a pen passport party, also criticized, saying, I used to think of seniors who achieved democracy as idols, but now they are becoming monsters. If the Democrats try to cover up their corruption by giving indulgences to criminals and inflicting pain on the people, angry public sentiment will not go away. The Democratic Party must immediately stop the legislative rampage and go through the process of sufficient public debate. Thank you for watching today. Please like and subscribe.